Hello, everybody. It's Bacon, and we're going to talk about two Nosferatu projects tonight because in this year, 2024, we had two Nosferatu movies to come out in the same year. One is the more familiar one, that's the Robert Eggers Nosferatu, and the other one is the David Lee Fisher Kickstarter project that was started in 2014 and has finally come out this year. And it's starring Doug Jones of Guillermo del Toro fame. So I'm going to go over these two films. Of course, I'm going to start off with the Robert Eggers one, Nosferatu, starring Lily Rose Depp, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Nicholas Hoult, Willem Dafoe. And this one is pretty much a brand new take on the 1922 F.W. Murnau movie. These two movies are, but let's just start off by saying that the 1922 F.W. Murnau movie is a horror classic. It's one of the greatest movies ever made, one of the greatest horror movies ever made. Very carefully crafted, wonderfully performed. It's a silent movie, but it's one of those silent movies that is literally made for that format. And I'm sure there has been debate at around the time of 1920 to 1970s saying that the movie cannot be remade because it is perfect the way it is, but it has been proved wrong because I believe that the 1970s Werner Herzog movie is just as good, or at least close enough as good as the original Nosferatu. It is a technical achievement, and going into this 2024 Robert Eggers project, we are all wondering if this movie comes close to the Werner Herzog movie, if not the close, or exceeds the F.W. Murnau project from the original. And I'll be the one to say that no, it does not. It does not. Not saying that the movie's bad. I would say that is Robert Eggers' worst movie. But I won't really go as far as saying that it's a bad movie. It's just that, well, I would say that learning about the Robert Eggers project back in 2022, I was really excited about it initially, and then I was disappointed to hear that it was canceled, but then the project was brought back, and I've been waiting patiently for this movie, finally seeing it. There's a lot wrong with it, but before I go to that, I want to talk about the positives in the movie as well. The positives is that everything that you expect from a Robert Eggers movie you get. You get the wonderful production, great performances, costumes, everything when it comes to the production of the film is top notch, A plus, really, really talented filmmaking, wonderful performances. But when it comes to the story, it's really just a reinterpretation of what we've been seeing for a long time, for as long as I've been alive. And it's somewhat underwhelming, to be very honest. Like with all the great things about the movie, it really doesn't stand out or doesn't even exceed any of the projects in Nosferatu that's come out. I mean, I would say it's better than Nosferatu in Venice, but like I think any movie is, personally. So I'm not really all that jazzed about this movie after watching it. I'm not really into like trying to recommend people to want to see it, but I have been hearing really, really great things about it from people that have seen it. Like they'll say that it's their favorite movie of the year or one of their favorite movies of the year. Unfortunately, that's not really where I stand in with this new project. And that's what I was actually expecting because I love Robert Eggers. I love The Witch, every single film he's done, the Lighthouse, even The Northman, which didn't really do well in the box office the year it came out. I thought that it was an incredible gem, and I was really not expecting any different from Nosferatu. And I would say yes, like I said, everything to do with the making of the movie, how it looks, the aesthetic is perfect, but it's just underwhelming. And going into Bill Skarsgård's performance as Count Orlok, this is, what we've been waiting for because throughout the trailers we haven't really seen how he looked like. And I'm not really going to give that away because I feel like it's a spoiler, but they really do take in a different take on the look of Count Orlok. And I'm not sure if you're going to like it. I can't really say that. For me personally, I didn't mind it too much. I really found his performance to be extremely transformative and just another example of like what type of chameleon actor Bill Skarsgård has become. Just a wonderful performer. He can change his voice. He can do a ton of things with what he has as a performer, and that's all great. But unfortunately, like I said, the story really falls short And the movie being 2 hours long, I think it runs about 30 minutes too long. Like, I think the movie could have just ran for about an hour and 40 minutes. I thought that it was kind of wearing its welcome too much, and that's pretty much my opinion about it. I was really kind of disappointed, because I really wish I could have come out and said a lot more. Now, the character who plays Renfield in this movie is also a standout. Let's bring out the great performances in this film, like Lily Rose Depp, who is the highlight in this movie. Unexpectedly, I was really expecting Willem Dafoe and the Renfield character to really stick out in this movie, but really the relationship between Lily Rose Depp's character and Count Orlok was the most interesting aspect of this movie, and that was great. It was really good to see, and that's something that if people really love the film, I can understand that they've gotten a lot out of that performance from her, and it's her best performance to date. So I'm really excited to what she can do next. She's really growing into her own. I remember last year a lot of people were bitching about nepotism, and I understand that, but sometimes people that are really born out of great performers become great performers themselves, and she's becoming a great example of that. I'm really proud of her and what she gave up into this project. Aaron Taylor Johnson was fine. He's a great actor. I loved him in Bullet Train. I love him in every movie he's in, minus Godzilla, but that's not his fault. Um, Craven the Hunter, I had fun with, but I wasn't really. I'm never really too much into the Sony projects, to be honest with you. But I still am a fan of Aaron Taylor Johnson. In this movie, he does his job really well. Same to Nicholas Hoult. I was very excited about him, but to be honest with you, when it comes to Nicholas Hoult or Aaron Taylor Johnson, these actors just did their job. They did a solid job, but they didn't really stand out in this movie. The standouts were really Willem Dafoe, Lily Rose Depp, and kind of Bill Skarsgård. Now, Willem Dafoe, his role as like the Van Helsing-like character, he really, really puts in everything that he can, as he does in every single film. Um, but it doesn't. All these great performances don't really make up for the movie just kind of being a little lackluster for me. So personally, I want to give this movie a 7.6 out of 10. Just kind of a disappointment for me, but at the same time, it's a pretty solid film that I recommend to everybody. The filmmaking is amazing, the performances is top notch. So if you're especially into the horror aesthetics and you're really, really into gothic cinematography, then give Nosferatu a shot, and also watch it in the theater if you can. If you're really into that type of stuff. But in the other event, if you're just really into horror movies and watching things at home, you could wait for it to come in Amazon Prime or wherever the hell it's going to stream at. I would say you wouldn't really lose much out of it. There is a really beautiful 35mm print of it that's playing in Brooklyn right now, but if you're not anywhere near Brooklyn, I don't see why you should go over there to watch it. But that's all I'm going to say about Robert Eggers' Nosferatu. Now we're going to move on, talk about the next project, and it's also another Nosferatu project made by David Lee Fisher. He also made another movie back 20 years ago, starring Doug Jones as well as the killer, and it is the same type of project. It's another F.W. Murnau production or remake, Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, and I actually did just recently watch it, and I mean it's fine. Like these movies are very cheap. They're shot in like regular digital camera, and it's really just a green screen movie where they're basically taking the sets off the original film and using it as a backdrop with green screen, and having the actors interact with that environment. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just a regular remake. And this new project, Nosferatu, was started back in 2014 as a Kickstarter project, and there have been many delays until now. The movie's finally been released after 10 years, and I really hope that the fans are very satisfied with the project that they have, because me personally, I was satisfied. I would say that I like it better than the Robert Eggers one. There's still really, really big problems when it comes to the other actors, exempting Doug Jones. Doug Jones does an incredible job as Nosferatu, but I wouldn't even say incredible. He does a good job. All right, let's not give him like the Oscar gold or anything like that. This movie's not anywhere near the Oscars. All right, it's very cheap. It's done the same style that his Dr. Caligari movie was done with. It's green screen. It's got a black and white tint to it to um, look like the original 1922 one. The only thing is that it has that clever thing to it where it's black and white, but when there's blood, you see the blood being red, and they do effects like that. Or when there's fire, when there's like these little effects to it, there's little touches of color to the film. You know, kind of like Sin City or movies like that that were done in the early 2000s. They do in this film, and it looks quite nice. But at the same time, like if I want to give you kind of how the look is, it kind of looks like a Hallmark movie. Uh, it doesn't look astounding or anything, but it looks as well as it's gonna look with the low budget that it's working with. So for me personally, I have an appreciation for this film, and the fact that he takes different he takes different spins on the original one, and he does little different touches with it. You know, instead of making a shot for shot remake, he does his own little spins on the famous scenes that are from the original Nosferatu movie. And like I said, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. Is that it's appreciated, but it's not necessarily a highlight of like the vampire genre or anything like that. It's just something that's out there and that I really do want to make people aware of if they're really big fans of like the vampire genre or just horror, Nosferatu in general, F.W. Murnau movies. This is a man that's remaking them on his own dime, in his own time, and other people's dime as his fans. But he's really showing up with these great projects, and Doug Jones is behind him with it, you know. And Doug Jones is a man of great respect in Hollywood. You know, he's known as the chameleon actor. He's been in Oscar-nominated movies, worked with Guillermo del Toro, so you know he's very well respected. And when it comes to him and his performance as Nosferatu, he does a pretty much well enough job. But at the same time, it doesn't stand out as one of the greatest movies of the year or whatever. You know, like this movie in general, like I would say I'd give like a 6.5 out of 10. So yeah, there you go. You got two Nosferatu projects out in the same year that you would have a chance to go watch either in the theater or at home. And you can tell your kids if they want to watch Nosferatu, you can tell them, we got Nosferatu at home, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? They're like, well, I want to watch this Nosferatu. It's like, well, you don't get to watch that Nosferatu. You get to watch this one. Go fuck yourself. And with all that, I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you guys had a good and Merry Christmas. We're all looking forward to the new year, 2025. Let's see what great things are going to come into then. And until next time, all right? Love you guys.